Solar Eclipse Myths, Legends, and Folklore. I'm Mike Ricksecker from Haunted Road Media. Explore with us. Top 10 Solar Eclipse Legends. Number 10 is a twofer. In German mythology, the hot female sun and the cold male moon were married. The sun ruled the day and the sleepy moon ruled the night. Seeking companionship, the male moon was drawn to his bride, the female sun, and thus an eclipse was formed. Likewise, the Australian Aborigines viewed the sun as a female carrying a torch. Due to their belief that the lunar cycle was associated with the female cycle, a link was made to the moon and fertility. Thus, the male moon and the female sun coming together was an eclipse. Thus, an eclipse was seen as the male moon being joined with the female sun. Number 9. Ancient Aztecs believed that a solar eclipse was dangerous for pregnant women and their unborn children. Therefore, pregnant women were not allowed to go outside during a solar eclipse. If they do go outside, this could result in the unborn child developing some sort of physical deformity or abnormality, usually a cleft lip, since an eclipse was seen as a bite on the face of the celestial body. Also, many times Aztecs would perform human sacrifices to appease the gods during a solar eclipse. In Transylvanian folklore, the solar eclipse was seen as the sun turning its back on the sins of humanity, most notably the sins of men. Evil demons would wreak havoc across the earth during this time, and simultaneously, the eclipse would produce a poisonous dew. This dew would be the onset of a plague. Number 7. In certain parts of ancient India, they believed that when an eclipse occurred, either solar or lunar, that a dragon was trying to seize one of the two celestial bodies. In order to try to prevent this from happening, people would immerse themselves up to the neck in rivers as an act of worship, and therefore hoping that the dragon would release either the sun or the moon. Number 6. This one entails 3 different stories of sun-swallowing lore. In ancient China, the earliest word for eclipse, shi, means to eat, and they believed that a dragon was coming to eat the sun. Instead of immersing themselves in water like they did in India, the Chinese would bang on pots and drums in order to scare away the dragon. Now, it was believed that if they scared away the dragon, this would be good fortune for their emperors. And of course, they always did scare away the dragon. In Vietnam, the sun swallower is a giant frog who's trying to escape his master, the Lord of Han. However, the Lord of Han is the only one who can convince the frog to release the sun. And finally, the Tatars of Western Siberia said that a vampire tried to swallow the sun, but spat it out when it burned his tongue. Number 5. The Pomo Native American tribe of Northern California tell a story about a bear who started a fight with the sun and took a bite out of it. In fact, the Pomo name for eclipse is sun that got bit by a bear. According to the Pomo myth, an eclipse occurs when a bear walking along the Milky Way encounters the sun. Well, the two begin to argue about who should get out of whom's way, and the bear challenges the sun to a fight. As the story goes, after the bear takes a bite out of the sun and they resolve their conflict, the bear continues to move on and encounters the moon, the sun's sister, and takes a bite out of the moon as well, thereby creating a lunar eclipse. This may be their explanation for why a lunar eclipse many times occurs 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after a solar eclipse. Number 4. The Vikings believed that the apocalypse would be inspired by the actions of 2 wolves, Skull and Hati, who would chase the sun and the moon around endlessly, waiting for Ragnarok, the Norse apocalypse. They thought that the wolves wanted to eat the sun and the moon. Skull would go after the moon, and Hati would go after the sun. When one of the wolves would catch either the sun or the moon, then an eclipse would occur. To scare off the wolves, the people on Earth would yell and scream and make as much noise as they could in order to scare off the wolves, and thus stave off Ragnarok, which would occur if both the sun and the moon were caught by the wolves. Number 3. Korea. A long time ago, among the heavenly kingdoms was Gamangara, or the Dark World, and his king was concerned about all the darkness that was surrounding his kingdom. So he ordered one of his subjects to set out his fierce, ferocious dog to take down the sun and the moon. The dog grabbed the hold of the sun in its mouth, but it was too hot and burned its mouth, and so he let go and gave up. Thus, the king ordered that a more ferocious dog go after the moon. When that dog bit the moon and caught it in its mouth, it was too cold and froze the dog's mouth. Again, it dropped it and let it go. While the dogs gave up, the king didn't give up and continuously set out more and more dogs to try to capture the sun and the moon. So it's believed that when there is a solar eclipse, it is the fire dog biting the sun. Number 2, an ancient Cherokee legend. Long ago, the sun's daughter was killed, and the sun became so distraught that she lost her daughter that the sun went dark. The people knew that they could not live without the sun, so they sent out 7 men with magical powers to bring the daughter back from the ghost land. They did bring her back in a box, however, they were instructed not to open the box. The daughter pleaded and begged from within the box to be let out. The people took mercy upon her and opened the box. But when they did, instead a red bird flew out, and not the daughter. This was the first red bird, a cardinal, and is a reason why people cannot be brought back from the dead. Still trying to bring back the sun, young dancers were sent up to the sun. And as they began dancing, the sun was pleased and showed her face. Thus order was brought back to the lower and upper worlds. And the number 1 solar eclipse legend, the Hindu demon Rahu. There were a group of gods who desired immortality, so they enlisted the help of several demons in order to churn the cosmic ocean, actually using a mountain as a churning stick. The ambrosia, that eternal elixir of life, rose like curds in milk to the top. This also created the sun and the moon at that same time, as well as many other magical and celestial bodies. The gods promised to share the elixir with the demons, but when they had finished creating this elixir of immortality, the god Vishnu disguised himself as a woman and tricked the demons out of their share of the elixir. Well, after this happened, Rahu, one of the demons, snuck into the camp of the gods and stole a portion of the elixir. The sun and the moon spotted him doing this and told Vishnu. Well, Vishnu got a hold of Rahu just as he was starting to drink the elixir and cut off his head. However, part of the elixir actually started going down Rahu's throat, and the throat was cut off before it could reach the rest of the body. So the body died while the head of Rahu lived. Rahu was, of course, angry at the sun and the moon for telling Vishnu, so he started chasing them around the heavens. Every once in a while, he'll catch up with the sun or the moon and swallows them, creating an eclipse. However, because of the opening in his throat, the sun or the moon slips out and is again whole. Nonetheless, Rahu continues his pursuit of the sun and the moon endlessly around the heavens. Thanks for watching our top 10 solar eclipse legends. Please go ahead and leave some comments below, and if you have not yet, please subscribe. I'm Mike Ricksecker. Till next time.